Hey everyone, I'm Rashak. I'm the co-founder and CEO here at SimCare AI. SimCare AI creates AI clients that students can chat with for better counselor training. So students come onto our platform, they speak with our avatars, and they have full conversations, build skills, and get evaluated in the process. I want to walk you through why the current counseling curriculum is quite limited and how SimCare AI might allow you to finally rethink through the counseling curriculum. In most counseling programs, students get very limited hands-on practice for their practicum. That's not because hands-on training isn't valuable. It's actually one of the most valuable things in the counseling education curriculum. The problem is that hands-on training has never been easy to scale, and here's why. To start, role-playing is synchronous. In role-playing sessions, you always need at least two people, a counselor and a client, which are typically two students. And coordinating that in a class can be logistically difficult. Second, it requires supervision. Clinical faculty and instructors need to oversee these sessions at all times to ensure both accuracy, but more importantly, safety of the session itself. And this is especially important in role-playing scenarios like suicide assessments. In some role-plays, students can go from pretending to be in a crisis to actually feeling like they are in one. And students are limited to what they can actually bring to the table, which limits the type of experience they actually get. And third, feedback is incredibly slow and manual. Sessions need to be recorded, transcribed, and then sent to an instructor, upon which the instructor will watch that entirely back and then provide some feedback. Students are always asking for more feedback and more opportunities to train like they would in their practicum, but instructors are limited in time. There's only so many role plays or sessions they can watch without getting overwhelmed. Because of these challenges, schools limit hands-on training pretty significantly. And that's not at all because it isn't effective. In fact, it's one of the most effective things in counseling practice. But it's limited because it simply isn't built for scale. Now here's how SimCare AI changes everything. With SimCare AI, students can practice anytime and anywhere, with no coordination really required. They can do it at 8 a.m. in class, they could do it at 9 p.m. on their couch, and conduct full counseling sessions. And now students don't have to wait for labs or a practicum to get real practical hands-on training. We also have high-fidelity clients. Students aren't role-playing as other people with other presenting problems. They're not reading off scripts, but instead we've trained models to act exactly like how clients would act in the field. They act as real people, they have real presenting problems, and they can be 5 years old, 45 years old, 95 years old, any demographic with any chief concern. You think of it, and we can make it. And above all else, they respond in real time, just like a real client would. You can have full conversations with them, ask them questions, work through treatment plans together, and work with them over the course of several sessions to really build longitudinal therapeutic relationships. This is something that could never be achieved with the old systems of simulation, but with SimCare AI, we made that entirely possible, and almost every user we have uses those features today. Every session is captured automatically and sent to your instructors for review. Students also get instant feedback, so there's no need to wait for days or weeks to hear back from your instructor as to how your role-play session went, but instead, our feedback models will tell you exactly what went right, what went wrong, with the precise timestamps as to where exactly that happened. And frankly, above all else, we introduce safety. You can work with the hardest clients that you would find in the field, and you can mess up as much as you want, and no one gets hurt in the process. Well, maybe yourself if the client lashes out at you or the feedback is particularly harsh, but you can conduct these sessions over and over and over again. Work with the same client on that same suicide assessment 10 times around, and no one gets hurt in that process. That's the most amazing thing about SimCare AI. And look, the results, it's really simple. Experiential training can now happen in every single class, not just labs or your basic skills counseling class. It can be everywhere and anywhere in your entire curriculum. Because ultimately, group counselors aren't built by lectures or doing hypothetical assignments or exercises. They're built by counseling. With SimCare AI, they can start hands-on training from day one.